In this video, I am going to share with you how I lost 100 pounds and went from being fat to fit. And I'm going to tell you the 3 biggest mistakes I made so you could avoid them on your fitness journey. Let's go. 20 years ago, I embarked on my fitness journey. The year was 2004, and I decided I did not want to be the fat kid anymore. It was time for a change. Little did I know this would be one of the biggest defining decisions of my life. I had been the fat kid my entire life. I was 100 pounds overweight. It's all I knew. I had zero self-esteem, and I was the most insecure person you had ever met. I was 15 years old. I had 100 pounds to lose. As soon as puberty hit, it's like a switch got turned on. Yes, that one. No girl wanted to be with the fat kid, especially my crush, Christina. She was perfect, but she would never want to be with a guy like me. The worst part of being the fat kid was the bullying and getting picked on. That's Brandon, the kid that would bully me every day. Man, I hated that guy. And even worse, he was with Christina. Talk about a kick in the nuts. Now, once I finally decided to lose the weight, I needed to find out how I was going to do it. There was no YouTube or social media or Google, and I had no idea where to even get started. Then one day, Rocky came on the TV. Whenever Rocky would train for a fight, he would go running. So I figured that's exactly what I needed to do. Every night, I would go for a run. At first, I could barely get to the end of the driveway, but each night I went a little further and further. Along with running every single night, I put myself on an extremely restrictive diet. I ate 4 hard-boiled eggs for breakfast, and I ate chicken and broccoli for dinner. Within 6 months, I lost about 100 pounds. Now, another problem emerged. I had a bunch of loose skin, and I was even more insecure about my body. After watching Arnold Schwarzenegger's Pumping Iron documentary, I knew I needed to start lifting weights to build up my body. After a few months, my mind was made up. I wanted to be a bodybuilder. My dad helped me pay for my first bodybuilding coach. Now, that's my coach, Sly. He was a professional bodybuilder. I mean, look at those freaking quads. Within a year of training with Sly, I was on stage in my Speedo posing in my first teenage bodybuilding show. After the show was over, I developed an extreme binge eating disorder. I dieted so hard for the show, and I became really food obsessed. I made sure I went to bed every single night with a full belly. I gained about 30 pounds within the first month of the show being over. Because of my binging, my weight would go up and it would go back down. Throughout my 20s, I would go back and forth from periods of being really lean, and then once I reached a certain goal, I would bulk up again and get chubby. There was really no balance or sustainability in my life. Over the last 20 years, I made every single mistake on my fitness journey you can imagine. And in this video, I want to share with you the top 3 biggest mistakes to avoid on your fitness journey. The first mistake you're going to want to avoid on your weight loss journey is severely undereating. So when I first started my journey 20 years ago and I didn't know any better, I was doing way too much cardio, but I was also practically starving myself. Now, in order to lose body fat and lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit. A calorie deficit just simply means that you're burning more calories than you're consuming. But if you're going extreme and really under eating, then your hunger hormones are gonna go crazy and you're gonna be starving and you're gonna end up binge eating. Now, in order to figure out your calorie deficit number, we're gonna have to do a little bit of math. So let me put on my lab coat and I'll show you how to do it. To calculate your calorie deficit number, all you're gonna need to do is take your goal body weight and multiply that number by 12. As an example, if your goal body weight is 185 pounds, 185 times 12 is 2,220 calories. That's gonna be your daily calorie deficit number that you need to hit in order to lose weight. The second mistake I made on my fitness journey when I started years ago was I was doing the wrong type of exercise. I was only doing cardio because I just simply didn't know any better. I didn't have the knowledge on what the best type of exercise was to do. The problem with doing too much cardio is you're losing fat, but you're also losing muscle. So even if you do get to your goal weight, you end up looking like a melted candle, which is exactly what happened to me. I had that skinny, fat physique that we all want to avoid. So you have to make sure you incorporate weight training into your fitness program. If you're not sure where to get started or what kind of workout routine to follow, I highly recommend working out about 3 to 4 days a week. And you want to follow something called progressive overload, which just simply means adding a little bit more weight each time. So as an example, maybe this week you benched 135 pounds. Well, next week you want to challenge yourself and maybe add 5 more pounds, or maybe you want to do 135 pounds for a little bit more reps. So make sure you're challenging yourself with the weight, because remember, If it doesn't challenge you, it's not gonna change you. So the last 2 to 3 reps of your set, you should be training really hard and almost getting to failure. So make sure that you're really challenging yourself with the weight. Now, as far as the best workout split to follow, I like to do a push, pull, legs type of split. So on a push day, you're usually working your shoulders, your chest, and your triceps, all of your pushing muscles. On a pull day, you're working your back and your biceps, and then on your legs, well, that's pretty self-explanatory, you're working your legs. So make sure you're pushing yourself and make sure you're challenging yourself. The third problem you're gonna want to avoid making is not getting enough protein, okay? So if you're trying to build muscle and develop a nice athletic physique, you have to give your body enough protein. Trying to build muscle without giving your body enough protein is like trying to build a 5,000 square foot home while only having enough material to build a 2,000 square foot home. It's not possible, right? So make sure you're consuming enough protein. In order to figure out your protein number, we're gonna have to do another quick calculation. Let me put on my lab coat. In order to figure out your protein goal, this is gonna be the easiest calculation you've ever done. All you're gonna do is you're gonna take your goal body weight and multiply it by 1. As an example, if your goal body weight is 185 pounds, you're gonna do 185 times 1. That's gonna give you 185 grams of protein per day. So that is gonna be your daily protein number. Now, in order to make sure you're hitting your numbers each day, start using MyFitnessPal. And if you don't know how to use MyFitnessPal, I created a free guide below in the description for you. So click on that after you watch the video. So here's the deal. If you avoid all those 3 mistakes that we talked about in this video, I promise you, you are gonna see results faster than you could have ever imagined. But without taking action, it means absolutely nothing. Information without implementation is not gonna get you to your goal. So make sure you take action. And if you want the free MyFitnessPal guide, make sure you check the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And until the next one, peace.